Welcome back to TacosandGeeks.com. This is Essential Anime episode 67. And this week we are back in the Megazone 23 universe. And today we're going to be reviewing the conclusion with part 2 of Megazone 23 part 2. As always, I give you a brief synopsis. So without further ado, here we go. BD is now the secret ruler of Megazone 23, and Shōgo is a wanted fugitive. The alien Dezalg are redoubling their assaults, and it's only a matter of time before the city is destroyed. The secret to salvation may lie with the Eve program, which means Shōgo must make a desperate attempt to fully activate her. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I feel that this is still essential anime, but I did not really enjoy the sequel as much as I did part 1. And I think mainly because part 1 had a little bit more focused on the human aspect of the story of and kind of this mysterious element of what the heck is going on with Mega Zone 23. But now that everybody is fully aware of the illusion and the Eve program, this is more of an action based more than a drama based, more mystery based anime, and that's not bad. Because the action is really good. It's definitely upped on the gore, definitely upped up on the nudity, and definitely upped up on the sex scene. So for those with younger kids and the younger audience, it's definitely not for you. I would say this is a hard rated R movie, and I thought still a good movie, just not as good as the first one. And I think a lot of it is mainly because they're mainly focusing on the war and Shōgo and his quest to reactivate the Eve program. So there are a lot of elements in here that kind of take a backseat, such as the elements of what happened to previous characters in the first films, kind of swept under the rug because it's all about Shōgo and Yui's desire to reactivate the Eve program. And they go a little bit more deeper on what the Eve program is, and they introduce something else as well. I'm not going to do spoilers here, but there's, for those who are familiar with religious texts, and there is this, and if you know how the significance of Eve, and then you know what the opposite and coincide of Eve is, and you know the religious or spiritual text of the early themes of creation and the first man and woman, then you'll probably get a hint of where this direction of the story is going. I thought the way they did the theme and really try to incorporate those type of elements worked very well. But I'll still say that the anime kind of suffered from the fact that the characters kind of do feel a little bit different. It's 6 months after. Shōgo is really different. Yui is got a major change in this, and I would say it's more of a progression for her as she becomes her own woman a little bit more and more stronger in the character sense. But yeah, it's just kind of a shift compared to part 1, but it's still aesthetically pleasing. The music is still amazing, and they did end it on a really good ending here. But I just felt that there wasn't enough meat for the build-up that they did in part 1. There wasn't really much in terms of the character and the conflict to really say that, hey, this is definitely it's still a good watch, but it's still essential mainly because of part 1, because in order to conclude this saga you have to watch part 1. So part 2 is kind of essential anime by default because how good part 1 is. So anyway, this is Justin from Otaku.com. What did you think of Mega Zone 23 part 2? Were you disappointed? Did you like it? Did you like it better than part 1? I say just from the action standpoint, the animation standpoint, it's a major step up. I feel like the character development was a little off from the things that were set up in part 1, but it's still an enjoyable watch. So that's why I put on Essential Anime. And if you like what we do here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, helps us out, and the algorithm as well. And as always, thank you for supporting us here at TacosandGeeks.com. We'll be back soon with more Essential Anime. Later days.